Assalamu alaikum students. Now as we all know that the SSC board examinations are just round the corner, and we are all well prepared for the exams, for the written papers. So today in our session we are going to discuss the points that we have to keep in mind while we are appearing for the SSC paper, specifically the English language paper. So I am Miss Tehseen Mistry, the English teacher of Anjuman Islam's AA Khatkhate English Secondary School, and today we are going to discuss a few important points that we all have to keep in mind when we are appearing for the English language paper. Now before we start with the main discussion, as we all know that our paper, the language paper, is for 100 marks, of which written paper comes for 80 marks and your orals account to 20 marks. So we'll just do a brief discussion about orals. So in orals, that is the 20 marks that we have for orals, these 20 marks are bifurcated or distributed as follows. You have 10 marks for writing skill, in which you are given 2 assignments. Both the assignments carry 5 marks each. The second is your listening skills, wherein you are given dictation words, or you are given a passage, or whatever the teacher decides for you. So the listening skill accounts for 5 marks. And finally we have the speaking skills, in which you are given a topic and you have to speak on that topic. So this is how we come to the total of 20 marks for the orals. Now coming to the 80 mark written paper. So first we will just see the pattern of our English language paper, which comes for 80 marks. So here, as we can see, the very first question that you get in your English language paper is the grammar question, which is called do as directed, and this grammar question comes for 10 marks. The question number 2A and 2B, that is question 2 is divided into 2 parts. You have question 2A and question 2B. Now both these questions are the seen passages from your textbook itself, and these two different passages, they come for 10 marks each. The next is question 3, which is again divided into 2 parts, question 3A and question 3B. In question 3A, you are given a poem from your textbook and you are asked questions related to that poem. This comes for 5 marks. And the next question 3B, again you are given a poem from your textbook, another poem from your textbook, and this question again comes for 5 marks, wherein you have to write the appreciation of the given poem. Then again we go to the next question, that is question number 4, which is further divided into 2 parts, question 4A and question 4B. Now question number 4A and 4B, they are actually a continuous question. In question 4A, you are given an unseen passage, a passage which comes out of your syllabus, comes from out of your syllabus. So you are asked questions related to that passage. You have to write the answers. This accounts to 10 marks. And based on this same unseen passage in question number 4B, you are expected to write a summary. So summary is a compulsory question which comes again for 5 marks. Next we go to question number 5, which is a lone question, a single question. There are no other questions involved with this, other units involved with this. So here you have a letter writing question. This question again comes for 5 marks. Next we go to question number 6, which is divided into 2 parts. Question number 6A, which is information transfer, verbal to non-verbal and non-verbal to verbal. Both the questions are given in question number 6A, and you are given an option You can either attempt verbal to non-verbal information transfer, or if you feel that the second one is better, non-verbal to verbal is much easier for you to attempt, you can attempt that as well. So this question of information transfer again comes for 5 marks. Next is question number 6b. Now in this question you have two options. They give you the first question for view and counter view, and along with view and counter view you have a speech writing question. So if you feel that view counter view question is much easier for you to attempt, you can attempt that. Or if you feel that you can write a better speech, then you can write the speech as well. So this question 6b carries 5 marks. The last question is question number 7, which is again divided into two parts, 7a and 7b. In question 7a, you have option between two writing skills. First is expand the theme and second is report writing. This question 7a carries 5 marks. And finally, the last question in your written paper, question 7b, again has two options, two writing skills, of which you can attempt any one. You can either develop a story or you can narrate an experience. So this last question also carries 5 marks. So if we come to see the total marking system, when we add up all this, we get the total of our written paper, which is 80 marks. Now when we are writing the 80 marks paper, we get 3 hours to write the language paper. So how are we supposed to divide our time? That is the major concern for all the students. So we can make it simple. We can follow this pattern of time division when we are writing our paper. Now as we know that 10 minutes before your actual written paper starts, we all are given the question paper. Within those 10 minutes, we can just go through the question paper. We can just roughly see the paper, what type of questions are asked, specifically the writing skill and the starting grammar question. So there, that is how your 10 minutes, the starting 10 minutes, you can utilize those. Now when you start writing your paper, for question number 1 in grammar, for question number 1, which comes for 10 marks, you can give 25 minutes to that question. 25 minutes for question number 1, because there are grammar questions. These questions are 1 mark questions and 2 mark questions as well. So a bit of thinking and precision goes there. So this question, you can give 25 minutes to the first question, grammar question. Coming to the second question, question number 2a and 2b, which is actually the scene passage. Now since you already have read the lessons, since you have been studying the same lessons the entire year, so here, since you are already well aware of what is given in every lesson, for these two questions we can minimize the time limit. So here for question number 2a, which carries 10 marks, you can give 15 minutes to the question, and for question number 2b, which again carries 10 marks, you can give 15 minutes to the question. So this is how the first 3 questions you can use your time accordingly. Coming to question number 3, which is again 5 marks, 3a and 3b. Now here in the poem, since it carries 5 marks, obviously the number of questions will be less as compared to your question 2a and 2b. And again, the poems are the ones which are already given in your textbook, so you know what's there in each and every poem. So here for question number 3a, wherein you read the poem and then you answer the question, here you can give 10 minutes to this question as well. Again for question number 3b, where you have to write the appreciation, since you already have prepared the appreciations of all the poems during the entire year, so once you read the poem, immediately you can start writing the appreciation. So this question 3b, again you can give 15 minutes to the question. If you want to include some additional points in the central theme on the spot, you can do that as well. So that is why we give 15 minutes to poem appreciation. Now remember students, poem appreciation, you can score full marks here. You can score out of marks in poem appreciation. So in your paper, when you are writing your language paper, please be very careful when you are writing the appreciation. Do not make any mistakes there. Next we go to question number 4a. Since it is an unseen passage, you will have to read the passage first very thoroughly. Then you have certain questions based on the passage. So here you have to give 20 minutes to this unseen passage because it is your out of syllabus passage. So you need to give minimum 20 minutes to this passage here in question number 4a. Again, since you have already read the passage now in question 4a, you have a rough idea of what the passage is about. So you have to write the summary of the same unseen passage in question 4b. So in 4b, you don't really have to reread the passage again and again. You simply have to, come up with all the points that you want to include in your summary, and you have to start writing the summary. So here again, since you are writing the summary on your own, you have to be very careful with how you frame the sentences, how you present your ideas, how you introduce the topic. So all this, while you are writing, you have to be very careful when you are writing the summary. So here again, you need to give 20 minutes to this summary question. Coming to the letter, since we have been studying letter writing since our lower classes, we all already know the format of letter, be it formal or informal. So here you only, when you read the letter writing question, read the question very carefully, understand what the letter expects of you, and then you can start writing the letter. So here again, since you have to write the address and you have to write the complete letter step by step, so here we can give 10 minutes to letter writing. Coming to question number 6, which is divided into 6a and 6b, information transfer. Now in information transfer, again, if you are doing verbal to non-verbal, you'll have to read the paragraph or the passage very carefully. You'll have to understand what they want you to do, whether they want you to prepare a fact file or they want you to draw a tree diagram or a flow chart. So once you read the passage carefully, you will be able to understand what the question expects of you. And once you have understood what type of non-verbal information transfer you have to write, if you have read the passage well, you will be able to immediately start solving the question. So here again, information transfer, you can give 10 minutes to this question. Next, coming to question number 6b, for view and counter view or for speech writing, you can give 10 minutes. Next is question number 7a, expand the theme. It is comparatively a much easier option as compared to report writing. So expansion of theme, again in the expansion you will be given 2 or 3 topics of which you can write expansion on any one, or they might as well give you just one single topic and they would ask you to expand the theme of that topic only. So here again, for expansion or for report, you can again give 10 minutes. And for the last question, developing a story or narrating an experience. Now here usually what students do is they think that because it's a story or it's an experience that you have to narrate, they tend to write really big stories or really big experiences. Your word limit is taken into account, but also the content, whatever you have written, the way you have presented your ideas or the way you have understood the entire topic and compiled all your ideas, that actually carries more marks. So here when you are writing story or your experience narration, in that case you can give 10 minutes. You don't really have to write 5 to 8 to 10 pages of story or narration of an experience. You can write 2 or 2.5 or 3 pages also. You can keep it short, but see to it that your sentence framing is correct. There are no spelling errors, no cancellations. The idea that you are putting forth on the paper, it is presented in a very good systematic manner. That is what actually language writing is all about. So this is how we can divide our time of 3 hours like this. Now if you give all this 25, 15, 15, after you have given all this time to each and every question, at the end you are still left with 10 minutes. So in those last 10 minutes, you should only recheck your paper. In the last 10 minutes, go through your paper very carefully, right from the first question till the last question. See if you have missed out on any point. See if you feel that there are a few points in your story or in your expansion which are really catchy, they are really good, and if you want to underline them, work on your presentation as well. So all these things, all the the proofreading session can be done in the last 10 minutes. So once you have completed the paper, if you follow the time limit or the time division that we have discussed here, by the end of it you still have 10 minutes extra left. In those 10 minutes you can simply recheck your paper, and if at all there are a few things that you have missed out on, you can do the corrections in those 10 minutes. So this is how you can actually manage your time, the 3-hour paper, systematically, and I'm very sure that if you follow this time limit, you will be able to complete your entire paper, and hopefully you won't make much mistakes. Okay, so this is the general paper pattern, and this is the general time division that we can follow. Now if we have a pattern here, we have a paper pattern here in front of us. So this is one of our board papers. Now if we look at the paper carefully and if we compare it with the pattern that we just discussed just now, so we'll be able to see that the very first question here, the grammar question that we spoke of, question number 1, it is divided into 3 parts. It has question 1A1, it has question 1A2, and it has question 1B. So this A1, A2 and B together come under do as directed, that is grammar. So in question number 1, A1, you have 5 questions which are given to you. All the 5 questions carry 1 mark each, and you are expected to attempt any 4 questions. Out of the 5, you are expected to attempt any 4 questions. Okay. Second one, coming to question number A2, again it is do as directed. Here there are 3 questions given to you, and you are expected to attempt any 2. Now the 2 questions carry 2 marks each. So question number 1A2 actually carries 4 marks, that is 2 marks for the 2 questions each. Okay, and then finally coming to question number 1B, here you are given 2 questions, and out of the 2 questions you are expected to attempt any one, and that one question alone carries 2 marks. So that is how 4 plus 4 plus 2 comes to 10 marks. Okay, now advice from the teachers, the language teachers, would be that when you are writing the grammar, first question number 1, see to it, try to attempt all the questions. Don't leave any question in option. Like here in question A1, they want you to attempt any 4, but you should try to attempt all 5, just to be on the safe side. Again, in question number 1A2, they want you to attempt any 2 out of the 3, but you should try to attempt all 3. Again, in the last question 1B, out of the 2, they want you to attempt any 1, but you should try to attempt both the questions, and all this should be done in those decided 25 minutes only. Okay, so why should we solve the optional questions also? Just to be on the safe side. Okay, now when you are writing grammar questions, be it your question number 1 language study, or if you get grammar questions in between your passages and poems, please remember, for grammar questions you need to write the question and then you should write the answer. That is how grammar should be attempted. Okay, whatever your answer is, you can underline your answer neatly with a pencil and a scale, but remember that you should always write the grammar question and then you should write the answer. Okay, now coming, so this is how the first question we will attempt. Now once you start writing, once you have finished the entire question 1A1, A2 and question 1B, after that go to a new page, write question number 2A and start solving the activities. Okay, so as we can see here in question number 2A, again we have, these this is the passage which is given here in the box. So you need to read the passage, and after reading the passage you have to solve all the questions. Now the questions given are A1, which is here. So here they have asked you to relate the following actions with the king and the hermit. So they want you to write the answer in this form. So when you are writing question A1, question number 2A1, again you will write king, hermit, draw the boxes, and inside the boxes you have to select the correct option from here and you have to fill it up. Okay, so that is how you have to write the answer. No need of drawing these circles. You can simply write the question number. Always write the question number properly. Do not confuse the examiner. So you need to write the question number properly and write the answer in the format they expect you to write. Okay, then coming to the next question here. Now see, this is, you can say, somewhat like your grammar question only. They want you to state whether you agree or disagree with the statement. So for this question, when you write question 2A2, write the statement number 1 and then you write your answer agree. If you don't agree, write disagree. Go to the second question, write the second sentence, then you write your answer. Then leave a line, write the third sentence and then your answer. So this is how you have to solve the objectives as well. Okay, coming to the next question here, question number 2A3. Here you have been given a crossword puzzle and you have to solve the puzzle using these clues. So here again, if you draw the puzzle, it's not very difficult, just the boxes that you have to draw. So if you draw the puzzle and fill your answers, it would look more presentable, it would look more appealing to the examiner. So the advice, a tip here would be that if such crossword puzzles are given in your paper, please draw the puzzle, draw the outline of that puzzle and then you fill up your answers. Okay, then no need of writing the hints, that is down and across hints, no need absolutely. If you are drawing the outline and if you are writing the answer, then that is what is expected. Next you have, again as I told you, that you get a few grammar questions here and there in your passages and poems as well. So here you have a grammar question, do as directed. These are the two questions included. So write the statement and then you write the answer. Leave a line, write the second question and then you write the answer, whatever they have asked you to. Okay, then the last question of your passage here is, whom do you consider your guide when you are in difficulty and why? So this is basically a personal opinion question which carries 2 marks. So don't just merely start writing, read the question properly, understand the question, think about what you want to write in the answer in your response, and then you start writing your personal opinion. Okay, So this is how you have to write your answers for your passages. The same system would be followed here. Again, in your scene passage number 2, write the question number, write the statement, you have to choose the correct alternative. So here in this case, you can simply write number 1, B11, and you can write your answer, because these are the questions. These are not sentences, these are questions. If these would have been sentences, then you should have written, would be expected to write the sentence and then the answer. But since it is a question, you can simply write the question number and write the answer. Okay, so this is how you will attempt your passage number 2 as well, right? Again in the same manner. Again here, coming to the poetry section. Now since this is a completely new question, question 3, okay, so go to a new page, write question number 3A, and then you start solving that question. So here they want you to write the match the column question is given to you. Again, since it is an objective question, you have to write the question and then the answer. So here what you would do is, you can either draw the same clouds that they have given here, name cloud A and cloud B, and then you write the question here and the answer here. Or what you can do is, like you do for other subjects, science or history, geography, you make 2 proper columns, column A, column B. So you can do that as well. Okay, so this is how you can attempt this question. Next is question number A2. You have to pick out 2 lines from the extract that indicate humor. So here you can simply start writing your answer. The 2 lines from the extract that indicate humor are, and then on the next line write number 1. Pick out the line which you feel is humorous, write that line. On the next line write point number 2, the second humorous line according to you. Okay, then write 2 pairs of rhyming words from the extract. So here the answer would be given directly. No need of writing the question and then the answer. You can give a direct answer here as well. Now coming to question number 3B. Now this is the poem appreciation. The complete poem will be given to you, and along with the poem you will also be given the points which you have to include in your appreciation. So the very first point, now here when you are writing the appreciation, you don't have to write the poem. No need of writing the poem, because it is going to waste your time. So simply write the question number and start writing the appreciation of the poem. Appreciation has to be written in the paragraph form. There should be 2 paragraphs in your appreciation. Format of appreciation, format of writing skills is very, very important. So please don't write the appreciations in the point format. You are going to lose out on your marks. So here in your appreciation, you have to write the appreciation in paragraph form. There should be 2 paragraphs in the appreciation. The first paragraph should begin with the name of the poem, that is the title, followed by the name of the poet. So here in the paper, the name of the poem is given to you and the name of the poet is also given to you. So you simply have to write the poem All the World's a Stage is written by the famous poet William Shakespeare. Again, in that first paragraph, in the same paragraph, in continuation, you have to write the rhyme scheme of the poem. So you have to write the complete rhyme scheme. If there is no rhyme scheme, then you know what you have to write. After writing the title, the name of the poet and the rhyme scheme, you have to leave a line so that it looks more neat. Leave a line and go to the next line, start the second paragraph. In the second paragraph, you just have to write the names of 4 figures of speeches which you encounter in this poem. No need of explaining every figure of speech. Just write the names of 4 figures of speeches which you have encountered in this poem, and in the same paragraph, in the same second paragraph, conclude the second paragraph and your appreciation with the central idea or the theme of the poem. So here, as you can see, the first point carries 1 mark. If you write the name of the poem and the poet correctly, you get full 1 mark. If you write the rhyme scheme correctly, you get full 1 mark. If you write the names of correct figures of speech, again you get full 1 mark. And depending upon the theme, what you have written, how you have written, you will get the marks accordingly. Okay. Now, this is about the scene passage, scene poem. Now coming to the next part, question number 4, which is again your unseen passage and the summary followed. So here you have true or false as the first question of your unseen passage. So again it is an objective question. Write the question and then your answer. Okay, they don't want you to write the reason for the false statements. They only want you to write whether the statement is true or it is false. So simply write the statement and write your answer. Then leave a line, write the second statement and your answer, and that is how you have to attempt all these 4 true or false statements. Next is the passage is given here. So this is an unseen passage. You need to read this passage very carefully, and then they have asked you a few questions based on the passage. So you have to write the answers to these questions accordingly. Next is summary writing. Now in summary writing, they have given you that you have to prepare a summary for this passage given in question number 4a, and they want you to write a title also. So if you have read the passage very thoroughly, you will be able to identify the main theme of the passage. Depending upon the theme, first you have to formulate a title for the summary, write the title, and then you start writing your summary. Okay, stick to the length of the summary, whatever word limit of the summary should be. Stick to that word limit, stick to the length of the summary. Don't write 2-3 pages of summary, it is not required. Okay, and see to it that you don't just take the sentences from the passage and copy paste it in your summary. They want you to formulate this entire passage in your own words. In your own words. So when you are writing the summary, please remember to write the sentences in your own words. Don't just write the sentences which are given in the passage in the same way in your papers as well. Okay, so this is the entire passage poetry section. Now we come to the concluding part of our paper, which is writing skill. So here the question number 5 in your writing skill is letter writing. So they have given you the criteria, the information is given to you. You have to imagine you are Rohan or Reema. So boys, when you are writing the paper, when you are writing letter, you have to write in your address, and at the end of the letter you have to write your name as Rohan. Girls will write Reema. This is the address. Your address has been given in the paper. After that, this is the criteria. Criteria is also given to you. Hima Das, the Indian sprinter, won 5 golds in 1 month. And then on the basis of this criteria, they have asked you to write a letter. Either you write formal letter or you write informal letter. So this is completely up to you. If you feel that formal letter is much easier for you to attempt, you please attempt formal letter. If you feel that informal letter is much easier for you to attempt, then please go for the informal letter writing. Now since again this is a new question, question number 5, don't just continue this letter writing after summary. Take a new page, write question number 5 and simply start writing your letter. Okay, then coming to question number 6a, which is information transfer. Now question number 6a, information transfer, is either verbal to non-verbal. The paragraph is given here, that is the passage is given here. They want you to complete the table. So when you are, if you are writing this verbal to non-verbal, don't write the passage, simply draw the table, because that is what they want you to write. Draw the table. These are the points that they want you to find out from the passage, and fill up the information in the second column. So if you draw the table, if you list the points and the information correctly, you score full 5 marks here. If you are not attempting verbal to non-verbal, if you want to go for non-verbal to verbal, like here they have given you this diagram, this tree diagram is given to you, and they want you to write a paragraph. So the theme is types of diseases. These are the two main types, then the subtypes. So if you feel that you can write a better passage, then you can go for the question 6A2 as well. Okay. Now, after writing this information transfer, go to a new page, write question number 6 and then write B. Again you have option, either you write speech. So here they have asked you that on 15th October Reading Inspiration Day is celebrated in your school, is being celebrated. So the subject given to you is importance of reading. So you have to prepare a speech on the importance of reading. Now you will also get the points which you can use for preparing your speech. So here are the points: that reading increases knowledge, then reading keeps one updated, it is an ideal way to keep occupied, it develops your vocabulary, and it develops the power of expression. So you can use all these points to draft your speech. If you want to write view or counter view, then you can go for view or counter view as well. So the topic is given to you, the points are given here, you have to prepare a counter view, write your counter view. So again, whichever of the two, whichever question you feel is easier, please attempt that. And whatever you are writing, see to it that you give a proper introduction, you explain your points correctly, and you conclude your points in the same correct manner, right? Now coming to the last question, which is question number 7, again on a new page. Question 7A1 is expand the theme. So here they have given you one single theme, be the change you want to see, or you can prepare a news report on the given headline: sweeper's daughter or son scores 96% in class 12. Okay, so in both these questions, that is question number 7A1 and A2, you won't be given any points which you can use for writing your report or for the theme. You have to read the topic, you have to think of the points, and you have to write it in your own words. Okay, so it's better that if you attempt expansion of idea rather than going for report writing, because writing a report is not really a very easy task. Expansion of idea is much easier, and you can score really well here. Okay, and finally coming to the last question, question number 7B. So you have two options: either you develop a story, but your story should begin with this statement: he boarded the train happily and he searched his pocket for the tickets and found. So if you are writing this question B1, you have to start your story with this statement. If not this question, if you are writing question number B2, so here you have to narrate an experience, and the ending of your experience should be: I promise myself to work hard in order to achieve success. Okay, so this is the entire format of your paper. This is how you have to attempt your paper. Neatness, presentation definitely carry marks. Also, since it is a language paper, more focus would be given to the framing of sentences, to the spelling errors, the punctuations, how you have divided your ideas. So when you are writing language paper, you really have to be very alert in the way you are presenting your idea. Also, you have to be very careful with what ideas you are including in your paper. Okay, so I hope this helps all the students who are appearing for the board exams this year and also in the coming years. So thank you very much all of you, and have a wonderful day ahead.